I'm Mike Dorado. I am the art director for the district. I'm also the middle school art teacher. I've been in Abington for about, I think this is my 21st year. We are in the gallery here at the Abington Public Library, and we are looking at work that is up during the month of March to celebrate Youth Art Month. And Youth Art Month, or YAM as we like to call it, basically is a national celebration for basically celebrating art education, to basically point out the importance of art education in the school, and to basically celebrate the creativity and creative problem solving of students throughout art programs in the country. What we're looking at here is work from the high school level. These pieces were created in basically 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade art classes. They basically are reflective of our curriculum and some of the different projects. These were created in the drawing and painting class, the studio art class, and then as we walk around, we'll also see some pieces that were created in sculpture class. So as you can see here, you'll see a lot of different media being used, a lot of different material, a lot of different approaches. All of these projects are based on the Abington Art Department curriculum. And you know, as this piece here, as you can see here, was created by Katie in grade 10. This is based on pop art and the art of people like Roy Lichtenstein, the artist who worked in the 60s. And then as we move down, you'll see this one here was created by Nicole, and a more realistic piece. Basically, I believe it's a self-portrait, and again, this was created with acrylic paint on paper. And as you walk through the gallery, you will see a lot of different things. We have a self-portrait here. We have another op art. This one is a still life. This one is a project that explores positive and negative space created with ink on paper. Julia here created this piece digitally. Again, very creative, but again, created all on the computer. And as we make our way around, we will also see this art piece is a large mask created in the sculpture classes. These were basically done with wire supports and then covered with plaster gauze to kind of give it the form. And then the students painted. These are wonderful. When these were created in the art room, it was wonderful to go in and see these very large heads. On this table here, you'll see another large head here kind of created in sculpture class, as well as a ceramic house here created, again, in sculpture class. And again, this is a piece that was fired in a kiln. Just explores a lot of ceramic and hand building concepts, right? And as we walk around the room, we'll see more examples of work created at the high school level. Again, ink. This one is a mixed media piece. Marissa here used chalk pastel to kind of create that still life. Layla here, as you can see, kind of created this art piece that is very imaginative and based on kind of more internal dialogue. We basically see another still life here created with graphite. Lindsay here, and again, just exploring concepts of value, light, and shadow. These are some portraits that were created in a drawing and painting class. Again, just exploring some of the concepts of light and shadow and you know, kind of a muted color palette there. But again, as we walk here, you'll see some pieces that basically explore a lot of different types of approaches to art, a lot of different type of materials used in art, a lot of different techniques used in art. And on the back wall here, just really wonderful examples created in our Digital 1 and our Digital 2 classes. And again, some of these students, this is the first time they've worked with digital images. And again, as you can see here, there's all sorts of approaches. You know, anything from exploring kind of architecture to also exploring the self-portrait. But what's great about digital art is you can really take a project like a self-portrait and really do a lot with it. Like Ariel here, as you can see, did multiple images of her almost this self-portrait in time. Somewhat serious at times, somewhat silly. Again, as you go through here, you'll see some wonderful examples of time-stop photography, as well as even exploring some of the concepts that students might also explore with graphite, but done with digital images using basically the Adobe Photoshop program, as well as other programs like Illustrator. And again, these are all examples that were done in the digital classes, and anywhere from grade 9 to grade 12. Okay. So I believe we're in the young adult room, or at least that's what they call it. This is artwork I'm very familiar with since I'm the middle school art teacher. So these were produced by students in my class. And again, as you look around, you'll see a large variety. You know, I've got I've got this Cubist collage portrait here. I've got typography. The eyeballs were kind of a self-portrait project. So basically, students drew, observed, and created a realistic drawing of their eye. And then if you look closely, you know, I'm not sure if it'll come out on camera, but inside the iris part of the eye on the outside, they had to write either a poem about themselves, they were allowed to use song lyrics, or some kind of quote that they felt meaningful. So it kind of gave them, you know, it kind of, you know, used a little bit of writing also incorporated with the art. So as you walk around, you know, you'll see at times I will do some observational drawing, as well as do drawings from the imagination. These are some self-portraits created. Mara there did that beautiful self-portrait of herself with graphite. You know, I sometimes use nature as inspiration for the theme. But as you walk around, you basically see all of this work was created by 7th and grade 8 students. This is a large project I like to do every year. It's called a grid drawing. And basically, we take a photograph and I divide it up into sections, and students are given one section, and it's kind of a group drawing. Now what's great about this is students will have a section, but sometimes not even recognize what that section is. And the important thing is to really ask them to observe carefully and to try to recreate that section. And then when you put it together, you kind of create this very realistic drawing. In this case, this year we did this baby portrait. So again, as you walk through and you see on the wall a lot of the examples of what is in the grade 7 and 8 curriculum, you know, Cubism, and you know, and as you work on this, we also explore artists. In the case of Cubism, we'll look at artists like Picasso and George Braque. In the case of the grid portrait, we'll look at an artist like Chuck Close, who still works in New York City. And again, as you look at some others, you'll see plants sometimes inspiration and nature as inspiration. So as we walk down, we'll kind of slowly move away from the middle school stuff, and we'll get into artwork created at the elementary level. And here, you'll basically see work created by grade 3 students. These were some kind of group drawings, kind of cooperative drawings created by 3 students, and these are grade 5 level. These students are from Woodsdale. And again, as you walk here, these hearts are created by grade 3 students. There was an artist named Jim Dine who created arts like this, so I would imagine that Ms. Feeney, the teacher at Woodsdale, probably used that for inspiration. These wonderful collages were created by grade 4 students, basically using hand-painted paper and all sorts of other collage materials. These are some grade 3 and 2 drawings. These are some more collages created by students at Beaverbrook and as well as Woodsdale. And then as we walk into the young children's wing, we'll get into some work created by grade 1 and 2 students. Yep. All right, and then these are, this is artwork, again, created by children from Beaverbrook Elementary School. These wonderful snow angels here. Again, kind of winter scenes, some collages here. And then the younger students here, as you can see, kind of start exploring concepts, the elements of art, things like line, shape, color, space. And through that, we start introducing them to concepts which will run throughout all of the years and finally, culminate into what was seen up at the high school level. So as you walk here, you'll see lots of different materials. There are collage, there is paint, there are markers being used. These kind of soup cans here again were inspired by pop art. Pop art, people like, in this case, Andy Warhol. So again, here they are at grade 6, they're exploring pop art, but then again, at the high school level, they create these pop art painting inspired by Roy Lichtenstein. These circles are inspired by an artist named Kandinsky. And then, as you walk through here, you'll see this wonderful little collage of basically Campbell's tomato soup cans, which were basically created by Andy Warhol, and these were the inspirations for these grade 5 students to create this work. To talk about Youth Art Month, we are very grateful to the Abington Public Library to give us the opportunity to display the work. The one thing we are not happy about is that we cannot put one piece of artwork from every student in the district. Unfortunately, the space is not here. As it is now, we have over 250 pieces of artwork from students in grade 1 through grade 12. We're hoping with the opening of the new school in the fall that we might be able to expand Youth Art Month, which runs through the whole month of March. We're hoping that we can include more work as well as display some at the school, the new, middle high school, as well as keep displaying things here at the public library. If we can do that, we're hoping to double the amount of artwork we can show during the month of March. But again, this is a national celebration that we always take part in, and it is to really celebrate the arts, or at least art education in the school. Schools throughout the country have exhibitions just like ours. They have programs, they have raffles, they have all sorts of things to basically raise awareness for quality art programs in the school. And Abington has a wonderful art program, very supported by the people in the community, and we in the art department are very pleased to be able to share this work that's produced in our classrooms daily, and be able to celebrate what is created on the walls of the Abington Public Library. And we're very grateful to Deborah and the staff up here for giving us the opportunity every year to display their work.